So last week only we just started about a new section from Canto 3. Past few chapters starting from chapter 5 all the way up to chapter 11. We discussed about how Mahavishnu, by glancing upon Prakriti, created 24 elements and combining them created unlimited universes. Entering each and every universe as Garbhodaksha, Vishnu created universal form. And then finally, he manifested a lotus from his own navel. And entering into that lotus as Kshirodaksha Vishnu, he manifested Brahma. And accepting Brahma's prayers, not accepting Brahma's austerities, he gave his own darshan to Brahma. And accepting his prayers, he empowered Brahma to do the secondary creation. And by the way, this section ends with the description of the calculation of time, the divisions of time, counting of time, etc., etc. Because everything happens with respect to time. The time is the parameter with which we measure when, what is happening, and how, etc., etc. So that's how the primary creation of unlimited universes by Mahavishnu has been presented in the third canto. And also we saw in between, and also later at the end in the 12th chapter, how Brahma, who was empowered by Lord Vishnu, had created a variety of living entities, starting with the plants, animals, human beings, superhuman beings, and then many other personalities such as the 4 Kumaras, 11 Rudras, 9 Prajapatis, Narada Muni, and so many other faculties such as Vedic literatures, alphabets, meters, 4 Varnas, 4 ashramas, their respective duties and activities, the principles of Dharma, the musical notes, alphabets, everything Lord has manifested. So with that, and at the end, with the desire to make a automatic system, Lord Brahma manifested the 2 personalities, Svayambhuva Manu and Satarupa, who eventually got married and begot 3 children and begot 3 daughters and 2 sons, and eventually the creation continuing by the combination of male and female forms since then, since the creation of Svayambhuva Manu and Satarupa. So now, in the last week we just saw that Vidura asked a question. I want to hear about this great personality, Svayambhuva Manu. He is not an ordinary person. He is actually a great devotee. And what did he do after obtaining his wonderful wife, Satarupa? So I want to hear about this great devotee because he has taken the shelter of the Supreme Lord completely full of his heart. So he himself and his lineage is wonderful. And he says that I want to hear about great devotees, and he is one such a great devotee, and his children are also great devotees. How can I live not hearing about him? So that was the eagerness with which Vidura made his request to Maitreya Rishi. Please speak in great detail about Svayambhuva Manu and his lineage. So taking that as an inspiration, now our Maitreya, with full of happiness, is going to answer to the inquiry made by Vidura. So this is where we stopped, though we have discussed about 5th verse also, but we continue with the 5th verse. Sri Sukha Uvacha iti bruvanam viduram iti bruvanam viduram vinitam sahasra shirishna charanopadanam prahrishta roma bhagavad katayam praniyamano munir abhyachasta. So Maitreya is there standing on end, inspired by Vidura, began to speak the topics of the Supreme Lord to humble Vidura, who had acted unto humble Vidura, who had acted as the pillow for the feet of the Lord, and who had just spoken. He says that Maitreya actually becomes happy. My dear Vidura, you are not an ordinary person. You are asking this question for my well-being. Whenever some discussion about Krishna Katha is going on, both the hearers and speakers are benefited. Vidura is already a great devotee. What is the proof? When Lord Krishna came to Hastinapur, Lord Krishna ate in the house of Vidura, not going to the opulent house of Duryodhana. Instead, he go to the simple house of Vidura and he ate there. And while taking rest, Lord Krishna kept his lotus feet, 2 lotus feet on the thighs of Vidura, and Vidura massaged as Krishna was taking rest, and Vidura was slowly massaging the feet of Lord Krishna. So that was the intimate between Krishna and Vidura. And Maitreya said that, what can I speak to you? You are a great devotee. But I will speak about Krishna Katha in order to purify myself. This is your great mercy upon me. So thinking like that, with very happy mood, with air chanting on hand, Maitreya begins to talk about Svayambhuva Manu and his wonderful disposition to serve his father Lord Brahma and the Supreme Lord, and what kind of service it rendered. What happened in relation to that is being presented in the rest of the chapter. So that is where we stopped in the last class, and one of you can unmute and repeat after me. Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Yada Swabaryaya Sardham.
Yada Swabharyaya Sardham.
Jata Swayambhuvo Manu.
Jatah Swayambhuva Manu.
Pranjalihi Pranataschedam.
Pranjalihi Pranataschedam.
Vedagarbham Abhasata.
Vedagarbham Avasata. Translation. The sage Maitreya said to Vidura, after his appearance, Manu, the father of mankind, along with his wife, thus addressed the reservoir of Vedic wisdom, Brahma, with obeisance and folded hands.
So Maitreya says, after Manu appeared along with his wife, Swa Bharyaya Sa Ardham, folding his hands and offering respects to his father Lord Brahma, Swayambhuva Manu spoke to Brahma, who is the source of the Vedas, Veda Garbham. So after Svayambhuva Manu and Satarupa were appeared, immediately, of course, they appeared in their youthful form. It is not that they appeared as small kids. They appeared in a youthful form. Even though if they appear in small kids also, in Devaloka, within a Muhurta, they become youth. So we can say that directly. They appeared as a youth. So then both Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa came in front of Swayambhuva Manu, stood, and with folded hands offered obeisances to Brahmaji, and they are going to request. So please tell us, how can we please you? How can we serve you? So that is the mode with which Svayambhuva Manu and Satarupa approached Lord Brahma. Tvamekaha sarvabhutanam.
Tvam eka sarvabhutanam.
Janmakrit vrittidapita.
Janmakrit vrittidapita.
Tatapi na prajanam te.
Tathapi na prajanam te.
Sushrusha kena va bhavet.
Shushrusa kena va bhavet. Translation. You are the father of all living entities and the source of their subsistence, because they are all born of you. Please order us how we may be able to render service unto you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So you, the one father of all living entities. Tvam ekapita sarvabhutanam. You are the one father of all living, because Brahma is the source of everyone. So in that sense. And you are their source and the giver of their sustenance. Janmakart and Vrittida. You are giving birth to all the living entities, and you are also giving them occupation for their sustenance. Because it is Lord Brahma who established the Varna system also, no? The 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas appeared from Brahma's 4 mouths. And each and every Varna, each and every Ashrama, there are 4 categories, 4 categories of brahmacharis, grihasthas, vanaprasthas, sannyasis, all those were there. So he says that, please tell us, your offspring, how can we serve you? Shushrusha kenava bhavet tatapi na prajanam te. So we are also one among those creations of you. So you have created everyone and you have given them the means of livelihood. And please tell us, how can we serve you? How can we engage in a particular means of what kind of means of livelihood? So like that, with that intention, Svayambhuva Manu and Satarupa are asking very humbly, very meekly unto Lord Brahma. So now Lord Brahma will say that, yeah, you are supposed to become Manu. You become Manu and take care of the human beings, rule over the entire Bhuloka or Bhumandala and take care of them. That will be the instruction of Brahma. But that instruction alone will have so many subcomponents, and all the subcomponents are very interesting to know. What should be the duty of a ruler? That we can understand from the instruction of Lord Brahma unto Svayambhuva. Tadvidehi namastubhyam
Tadvidihi namastubhyam
karmashu idyatma shaktishu
karmasu idyatmasaktisu
yat krutve hayasho vishwag
yat krutve yasho vishwag
amutra cha bhaved gatihi.
amutra cha bhaved gatihi. O worshipful one, please give us your directions for the execution of duty within our working capacity so that we can follow it for fame in this life and progress in the next. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So he is asking Brahmaji further details about the seva. O worshipful Lord, we offer respects to you. Namo Tubhyam. Please instruct us how we can please you by performing actions according to our abilities, which after being performed will give us fame in this life and a superior destination in the next life. So in this purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that the success of a human life is to be happy in this life and to attain perfection in the next life. That means live happily here and at the end of this life, come back to Godhead. And that is the request which Svayambhuva Manu is making here. He's telling that, please instruct us how we can please you by performing actions according to our abilities. It is not that he's telling that, I will do Herculean tasks, not like that. We want to satisfy you by performing the prescribed activities according to our capacity. And then he says that, which after being performed et kritva will give us fame in this life. Iha vishwag esho bhaved. It is not that a person came, took birth and performed some activities and died. And afterwards no one knows who is he. Not like that. We want to do some wonderful activities which people will be able to remember. See, Svayambhuva Manu, what kind of activities performed we don't know as of now, but his name we are continuously hearing. Always we hear. Even Lord Krishna says that in the Bhagavad Gita, among Manus, I am Svayambhuva Manu. There are 14 Manus are there. Of the 14 Manus, Svayambhuva Manu is considered to be the Lord's Vibhuti. Lord identifies himself with Svayambhuva Manu. And also, there is something called Manusmriti we hear. Manusmriti, which years back, decades back, or centuries back, many people have burnt it. Not all we hear. But basically, that Manusmriti has been compiled by Svayambhuva Manu only. With the first Manu. Currently, we are in 7th Manvantara period, Vaivashta Manvantara period. Svayambhuva Manu's time period was very, very, very long back at the beginning of the Brahma's day. But still we remember about him. He is so wonderful. That's why we are able to, we are still remembering him. So in that way, he's asking that we want to please you by performing activities according to our abilities, and by performing those activities, we gain fame So which will be remembered, by which we are remembered throughout the time of the creation, throughout the tenure of the creation, throughout the, as long as the Srishti is there, that till then people should remember us, because we want to do such kind of activities. And also we'll attain a superior destination in the next life. That means they want to perform wonderful activities now, so that everyone can remember them and their activities, and also go back home, back to Godhead after this lifetime. This is the request of Svayambhuva Manu. This should be the request of anybody. O worshipful Lord, among all actions according to our abilities, please instruct us how we can follow you by performing actions which will give us complete fame. So there could be many activities, but please instruct us looking at our ability, and instruct us according to our ability, what we can do, what we cannot do. And also those activities should give us fame in this world and success in the next world. That means those activities should take us back home, back to God in the next life. This was the request of Svayambhuva Manu. So like that. Then now Brahma is responding. Text 9. Brahmo vacha.
Brahma Vacha
Pritastubhyam aham tata.
Pritastubhyam Aham Tata
Swastistadvam kshitishvara.
Swastistat Vam Kshiteswara
Yan nirvalikena hruda.
Yan Nirvyalikena Hrida
Sadimeti atmanarpitam.
Sadimeti Atmanarpitam. Translation. Lord Brahma said, my dear son, O Lord of the world, I am very pleased with you, and I desire all blessings for both you and your wife. You have without reservation surrendered yourself unto me with your heart for my instructions.
So here Brahma expresses his complete satisfaction with the surrender of Svayambhuva Manu. He says that, O child, O Lord of the earth, by calling Svayambhuva Manu Kshiteshwara, he has given him some service. You will be the king of the entire Bhumandala, the entire Bhuloka, the entire earthly planetary system. I am pleased with you. May all auspicious to you too. Swasti Stadvam. May both of you live happily. Since without duplicity in your heart, you spontaneously surrendered, saying, please instruct me. Sadi Mam iti. So without any duplicity in the heart, both of you wholeheartedly surrendered to me, asking me for specific instructions to engage in some specific service. So that actually pleases me, and I will bless you that may you live auspiciously. So like that, Brahma already blessed, and Brahma already gave him some service. Kshitishvara, by calling him a Kshitishvara, he already gave him some service, saying that may you become the king of the entire Bhumandala. Let there be auspiciousness to you too, man and wife, because you spontaneously said, give instructions to me. Because you surrendered so honestly, so completely, let there be auspicious to both of you. Because Manu offered his ego and possessiveness to Brahma. So Manu not only offered himself to Brahma, he offered his wife also unto Brahma. Matlab, he and his wife both combinedly offered themselves to Lord Brahma's service. So in that way, we can say that his ego matlab his own personality, and his possessiveness means his wife. So that actually pleased Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma is blessing them profusely. So like that. So then Brahma says, this is the way the son should serve the father, and the disciple should serve the spiritual master. And the devotee should serve the Supreme Lord. So like that we can think. So Brahmaji says, Etavati Atmajairvira
एतावते आत्मजैर्वीरा
Karyayi Apachitir Gurau
कार्या हि अपचितिर्गुरौ
शक्त्या प्रमत्ते गृह्येत
शक्त्या प्रमतैर्गृह्यता
सादरं गतमस्तरै.
सादरं गतमत्सरै. When the four previous sons of Brahma, the sages Sanaka, Sanatan, Sanandan and Sanat Kumar refused to obey their father, Brahma was mortified.
Mataji
Sorry.
reading for the title.
Sorry. Translation. Oh hero, your example is quite befitting a son in relationship with his father. This sort of adoration for the superior is required. One who is beyond the limit of envy and who is sane accepts the order of his father with great delight and executes it to his full capacity.
Yeah. So Brahmaji says that how a son should serve the parents, how a disciple should serve the spiritual master, how a devotee should serve the supreme Lord. With what mode? Here he says that, oh courageous son, service to the Guru according to one's capacity should be done with devotion by sons like you who are very diligent and free from envy. So how service should be done? Apramatta, Sadaram and Gatamastara. These are the three qualities of service. Sadaram, with great respect. And Apramatta, with complete diligence, with complete attention. And Gatamasara, without any envy. These are the qualities of that service. And also, Shakti Grihiyata, according to one's capacity. It is not that one has to take more than one's capacity and die there. Not like that. One should do according to one's capacity, happily, with great respect and great care, and without any duplicitous or envious mentality. Service to the Guru, following his order, should be accepted. The Kumaras did not follow Brahma's order. Those who have envy think, why should we follow your order? So in the purport, Prabhupada explained that when Kumaras, they said, father told beget progeny, they said no. Of course, their intention is good, but because at that time Brahmaji was eager to increase the population. So though their intention is good, at that point of time Brahmaji became angry, and that anger appeared as Rudras. When he told Rudras, please beget progeny, Rudras said, okay, we'll do it. They did, but progeny was destroying everything. And then he created Prajapatis. He requested Prajapatis to beget progeny. They are doing very slowly. So they are fully busy with performing meditation and all. So, but now Svayambhuva Manu, so he said, I am ready to serve you the way you want. So he is eager to serve his father. So Brahmaji, in one sense, till now, whoever has been appeared from Brahma, some way or other, were not fulfilling, they are not serving him according to the. But now here is one person who is ready to do whatever his father says. So Brahmaji is expressing his complete satisfaction. Now this 11th verse is important one. Here he gives a specific instruction. What kind of service Lord Brahma is expecting from Svayambhuva Manu? The details of the service are mentioned in the 11th verse. Sattvam asyam apatyani
सत्वम् अस्याम अपत्यानि
sadrishani atmano gunai
सदृशानि आत्मनो गुणै
utpadya shashadharmena
उत्पाद्य शासधर्मेण
gam yajnai purusham yaja.
गाम यज्ञै पुरुषं यजा. Translation. Since you are very obedient son, I ask you to beget children qualified like yourself in the womb of your wife. rule the world in pursuance of the principles of devotional service unto Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus worship the Lord by performance of yajna. Hare Krishna.
These are the three special instructions. First one is beget children through your wife with qualities similar to yourself. Satvam asyam apatyani uppadya. Through your wife, beget children. What kind of children? Atmano sadrushani gunai, who are similar to yourself in qualities. But they should also be obedient like you, and they should be eager to serve, something like that. The first instruction is to beget children through your wife. Children who are like you through your wife. Second instruction is Shashagam Dharmena. Protect or rule the earth according to dharmic principles. Gam refers to the entire Bhumandala. So rule over the entire Bhumandala as per the dharmic principles. And third instruction is worship the Supreme Lord by performing sacrifice. Yagnai Purusham Yaja. Because the important important duty of the king is, these are the three important duties of a king. So one is begetting children who will continue the legacy. And second one is ruling over the entire Bhumandala with all the citizens, providing them the good facilities to practice Dharma, the principles of Dharma, Varnashram Dharma, etc. And worshipping the Supreme Lord by performing yajna. This is the one. These are the important instructions for a ruler. What kind of duty the ruler should be busy with always. That's why we see in Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Bhagavatam Purana, is that there, etc. Everywhere, all the kings are always engaged in performing yajna. This yajna, that yajna, that yajna. Because yajna has multifarious things. One is, in order to perform yajna, everyone is supposed to engage in that activity. So all the citizens are engaged directly or indirectly. They are somehow are engaged in that. And by yajna, the Supreme Lord is satisfied, the devatas are satisfied, and by the satisfaction of devatas, they will provide all natural resources sufficiently, and people on the earth are prosperous with all the variety of opulences. So this will accomplish all the tasks. One's livelihood is taken care, one's sustenance is taken care, one's prosperity is taken care, the Supreme Lord is taken care, everything is taken care. So that's how these are the three important duties of a king. So the main three duties of the king are these three. Shashagam Dharmena, protect the earth as per the principles of Dharma. And Yajnai Purusham Yaja, worship the Supreme Lord by performing yajnas. And Asyam Apatyani Utpadya Atmanu Sadrushai Gunai. So beget children through your wife who are similar to you, who are like you. Yes, you are so obedient, you also beget children who are also obedient like you. So like that. So this is the instruction of Lord Brahma to Svayambhuva Manu. This instruction can be taken forward for any ruler. Whoever is supposed to become the ruler, this should be the principal instruction one should be following. So in that way. So then why these three? What is the benefit of performing all these three activities? Lord Brahma elaborates. Why Lord Brahma is telling him to do only these three things? Why not something else? Param Sushrushanam Mayam.
Param Susrusanam Mayam.
Syat Praja Rakshaya Nrupa.
Syat Praja Rakshaya Nrupa.
Bhagavamste Praja Bandhu. Sorry, Bhagavamste Praja Bhartur.
Bhagavamste Praja Bhartur.
Hrishikesho Nutushyati.
Hrishikesho Nutushyati. Translation. O King, if you can give proper protection to the living beings in the material world, that will be the best service for me. When the Supreme Lord sees you to be a good protector of the conditioned souls, certainly the master of the senses will be very pleased with you.
O King, by protecting the population, Praja Rakshaya, You will perform the highest service to me. Param Susrushanam Mayam Syad. Lord Brahma is saying that you have approached me saying that I want to please you, I want to serve you. So, how you can please me? By protecting the population, by ruling over the entire Bhumandala and taking care of all the people, all the citizens who are living in the Bhumandala, you will be serving me in the best form possible way. So, I will be satisfied if you take care of them nicely. Second thing, the Supreme Lord will be satisfied with you as the protector of the population. And if you take care of the citizens very nicely, the Supreme Lord also will be satisfied with you completely. So it is like that. By becoming the ruler of the entire Bhumandala, if you provide them the facilities to practice sadhana, bhakti, and provide the facilities so that they will go back to Godhead, taking care of them by taking care of them nicely, I am very much pleased, and the Supreme Lord is also very much pleased. What else you want? Please do it. So in that way, he's telling that if you follow these three instructions, especially taking care of the citizens nicely, both I am satisfied and the Supreme Lord is also satisfied. So it's like that. You will perform the highest service for me, or this will be the greatest service form pleasing me. So you wanted to serve me, and this is the best form of serving me. Please take care of the living entities of the entire Bhumandala. So like that. Then he says that how Lord will be satisfied with this by taking care of the people. How Lord is satisfied? That he says in this verse. Esham natushto Bhagavan.
येषां न तुष्टो भगवान्
Yajnalingo Janardanaha.
यज्ञलिङ्गो जनार्दनः
Tesham Shramo hi apartaya.
तेषां श्रमो हि अपारेथ्याय
Yadatma nadrita swayam.
यदात्मानधृतः स्वयं. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Janardana, Lord Krishna, is the form to accept all the results of sacrifice. If he is not satisfied, then one's labor for advancement is futile. He is the ultimate self, and therefore one who does not satisfy him certainly neglects his own interests.
The efforts of those who do not satisfy the Lord are all useless labor, since they have no respect even for their own souls. So Brahmaji is telling that so people may engage in so many activities, but although the activities does not satisfy the Lord, if an activity does not please the Lord, all such kind of activities are of no use. So what kind of activity will please the Lord most? By taking care of the citizens and providing them the facilities to practice bhakti, etc. Will satisfy the Lord the most. So please do that service. That will please me and please the Supreme Lord. All other activities does not please the Lord. So like that, Lord Brahma is inspiring Svayambhuva Manu to take up this service with full eagerness. So in that way. He who is known by the process of worship, hearing and chanting is called Yajnalinga. The Lord is addressed here as Yajnalingo Janardana. Yajnalinga means he who is known by the process of worship, hearing and chanting is called Yajnalinga. The Supreme Lord can be understood by Shravanam, Kirtanam, Archanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Vandanam, Dasam, Sakyam, Atmanyodanam. By this Navida Bhakti, the Lord becomes known to all of us. That's why he's called Yajnalingo Janardana. Those who do not satisfy the Lord perform useless labor, since their own atmas are not respected. If we are looking for our own well-being, we should perform such kind of activities which will please the Supreme Lord. If the activities are not pleasing the Lord, we simply fall in the cycle of karma. So like that, it is said. Because if our activities are making us fall in the cycle of karma, that means we are not interested in uplifting our Atma. That's why we are not giving respect to our own Atma. So like that, here Maitreya Rishi is Brahma is saying like that, keeping that in mind. This means that by not respecting the Lord, such persons do not even respect their own Atmas. Not achieving anything for the self, they cannot be satisfied. Not achieving anything for the self means not able to elevate the soul from their current position, not able to go back home back to Godhead. They don't achieve anything better by staying back in this material world. So like that, Lord Brahmaji is saying. Any questions?
No problem.
Hare Krishna. You're following? Any questions till now?
No problem.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, so, Prabhuji, so like Lord Brahma gave instruction to Svayambhuva Manu to actually beget the offspring and worship the Lord. So what process like Svayambhuva Manu propagated? Is it like dhyan or some Archa Vigra, or like we hear that there are various process for the Satyuga and for the Treta Yuga and Dwapar Yuga?
See, Prabhuji. See, they're all there. They're all details. In essence, for anyone to practice bhakti, the basis, the foundation lies in following the principles of Varnashrama Dharma properly. So Svayambhuva Manu, being a king, being a ruler, being a householder, he actually established all the facilities properly so that people can practice Varnashrama Dharma properly. Understanding that majority of people will be grihasthas. So what kind of facilities are required so that all the grihasthas can practice Nishkama Dharma, the Varnashrama Dharma properly with the mentality of Nishkama Karma Yoga. So Manusmriti, which was compiled by Svayambhuva Manu, it actually talks about how to execute Nishkama Karma Yoga, which is the foundation for practicing Jnana Yoga, or Ashtanga Yoga, or Bhakti Yoga. Since he's the ruler, you need to see the big picture. So with this basis, and people then eventually become either practicing Jnana Yoga or practicing Ashtanga Yoga or practicing Bhakti Yoga. That will go on. But the basis is Nishkama Karma Yoga for any practice.
But the process of Bhakti Yoga is not dependent on Nishkam Karma Yoga, right?
See, it is not like that. The basis to practice Bhakti Yoga is also Nishkama Karma Yoga. Unless and until we have that mentality of Nishkama Karma Yoga, how can we practice Bhakti Yoga? We have discussed this so many times. The difference between Bhakti Yoga and Nishkama Karma Yoga is simple, same one small, simple line only. One thing is, we also perform Varnashrama duties, and Nishkama Karma Yoga is also perform Varnashrama duties. We mean the devotees. So that the only thin line difference is, the Nishkama Karma Yogis perform the activities according to their psychophysical nature and offer every result to Supreme Lord. The Bhakti Yogis also perform the same activities, but the activity itself they perform as a service to Supreme Lord. This is the only thin line difference. Otherwise, both are doing same things. In that way, Nishkama Karma Yoga is a mentality which enables one to serve selflessly. Without that selflessness mentality, one cannot practice anything. What is become Bhakti Yoga?
Okay, so here it is mentioned Yagna Lingo Janardana. So, but in the comment you mentioned that worshipping, hearing, and chanting. So, specifically mean that process of Bhakti Yoga?
No. See, hearing and chanting and worship is there in every yoga. It is not only in Bhakti Yoga. So in Nishkama Karma Yoga, while performing Yajna, also there is hearing of mantras, the chanting of mantras, there is worshipping of the Supreme Lord by performing fire sacrifice. These are common to everything. But when Prabhupada translates and explains all these things, he explains everything in terms of Bhakti only. So in that way, Prabhupada writes Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smarana, worship, deity worship. So like
Okay.
that. Even if you see in the Bhagavad Gita, that verse, Yagnashishta Shinashanto Muchante Karvakil Vishay. What Prabhupada writes is there?
In
What
Bhagavad
Prabhupada
Gita,
writes for Yagnashishta?
I'm not able to recollect now.
But you can think, just prasadam. Prabhupada says that those who eat prasadam,
Yeah.
they are freed from all the sinful reactions. Others, those who eat for the tongue pleasure, they eat sin. And yajnartat karmano anyatra lokayam karmabandhana. Couple of verses before in the same third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Yajnartat karmano. There Prabhupada writes that yajna means either Lord Vishnu or Lord Brahma, Lord Indra. But in the commentary, one word is said like that. But the whole commentary said that for Lord Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. But see, when you explain everything from Bhakti point of view, everything becomes Lord Vishnu only. But when you explain Varnashram system point of view, yajna becomes the principal activity of Karma Yoga. Yajna is the main activity of Karma Yoga. So through yajna, the Lord is worshipped. So that's why I said in the Ramayana Mahabharata, if you see, every king is constantly performing yajna only. Because that is the important activity of a king. So from that way you see. So this Shravanam, Kirtanam and Varchanam and all, they are there everywhere. In every process they are there. It is not that only Bhakti is Shravanam, Kirtanam. Everywhere it is there. Even you read Mahabharata?
I've read the Krishna
Where was the
Dharma
Mahabharata
Prabhu's
spoken? At which place Mahabharata was spoken? Or when it
Which
was spoken?
place?
When it was spoken?
I think it was spoken to Janmajaya.
Not to whom, Baba. When?
No, Prabhuji, I don't know.
Janmejaya was performing Sarpa Yajna. While Yajna was going on one side, other side, Vaishampayana was speaking Mahabharata to Janmejaya. In between, wherever the free time is there. So it's like that. They would always go on continuously.
Okay.
They are not separate. Okay, fine. Other devotees have any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare, this Prajapatis were also in Karma Kand, no? They were also doing yajna only, na? Karma Kand means?
See, you instead of saying Karma Kanda, you can say Nishkama Karma Yoga. That would be the better way of saying. All the Prajapatis, as we discussed in the previous chapter, they are all teachers of Nishkama Karma Yoga. At heart, they are all pure devotees. But as service, they teach Nishkama Karma Yoga. This we discussed. The four Kumaras, at heart, they are devotees only. But they need to teach Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. They choose to review celibate monks and they teach that one. Similarly, all the Prajapatis, they teach Nishkama Karma Yoga. And because they also live for the entire lifespan of Brahma, and that long they continue to teach that. So like that.
Okay.
Any other devotees? Okay, then we'll stop here. From here, actual pastime will begin. Lord Varaha's pastimes will begin from 114th. So we'll continue the next week. So thank you for joining. So finally, if this time is okay.